Okay, recording this video on Saturday, the 4th of May 2024, just gone 8:26 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap. I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Do hope your trading went well this week. Pretty volatile week with FOMC. I didn't get to do much this week because we were traveling during most of it. We're back in Sydney here for a few days before heading up north. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit rainy, but still a beautiful city, Sydney. Thank you for your indulgence last weekend. The video ran to almost 30 minutes, which was ridiculously long. But it was about the Japanese yen, and that did end up being a pretty important news story during the week, so it was worth talking about that. But we're going to talk about the Emini first, and we've got a little bit of a resumption in the uptrend. So we're going to go from the daily chart all the way down to the 15-minute and then the 13,500 tip bar chart. There was a super good turning point at the beginning of this week that we referenced in last weekend's video, so I'm going to refresh you on that. But as usual, here's the daily chart. The background is in red, which means we're in a confirmed uptrend in terms of price and volume. We've got the bars here on the daily chart, better sine wave, all red, showing that in terms of price we have not broken any significant support levels. We have to put in this support in the intermediate time frame at some point, but at the moment what we're doing is we're running out this long energy from the cyclical cross that we had. Actually put in a turn here on the S&P 500 index. It actually put that turning point down here, but that's a small point. We're running out this energy support to resistance, so I think we're going to be an uptrend until these lines get up to positive 100 and cross, and then we could have a little bit of trouble. It'll be between here probably in 5300 or so, and at that point there we might find a little bit of trouble and come back down and make this cross on the intermediate time frame where these lines come together. In terms of volume, nothing has signaled down here, not in terms of amateur bars or professional bars. The stop is miles away. So what can I say? It's just on the lower time frames that we've broken into this uptrend, so we've got to play that energy out. So next chart down, 135-minute chart, exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the Emini. So here are the blue professional bars coming in on the dip. Got better momentum, is all positive at the moment. We put in that little pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame here, and it's still grey background, which means we're in a downtrend in terms of price and volume. We need to get above this breakout level here at 52.57, and then these bars need to turn red. But as we go down the time frames, you'll see that that trend change has happened. We might have a little bit of trouble underneath here. To see how that runs out. That'll be support to resistance on this intermediate time frame here, which is the equivalent of this lowest time frame on the next time frame up. So for the time being, we're just breaking up to go test into those levels and see what happens next. 45-minute chart. Here we go. There we go. That's the Manly ferry. Signaling is kind of heading off from Manly to Sydney, if you heard that in the background. Wonder if my noise cancelling was able to take that out or not. Anyway, 45-minute chart. Here you can see the background is in red, which means we've turned into an uptrend in terms of price and volume. And we had blue professional bars come in down here on this test. This first little move up with exhaustion by bearish divergence, amateur up bars. Amateurs getting wrong-footed. We come back down, pretty violent moves here over those FOMC couple of days. And finally, blue professional bars step in here to hold at 50-50. Bang, and we break through the trailing stop. And in terms of the 45-minute chart and cycles, nice little pattern here. Pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. Talk about these rippling through the time frames. So on the lowest time frame, then we go back up to make pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. That was our low. We break above resistance here into an uptrend. The bars turn red, so we're in an uptrend on the 45-minute chart, and we've got to play this thing out probably until we get this cross on the highest time frames here, which is the equivalent of this cross on the intermediate time frames and this cross on the lowest time frame. And then the 15-minute chart. Here we're showing the beginning and the ends of the week with the solid yellow vertical lines. And this is the cross, the turn, that was such a beauty that we were highlighting in last weekend's video, that we were coming into this cyclical turning point, and it was a beauty here. Pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, syncing up with resistance on the intermediate time frame, which is a pullback in a downtrend on that highest time frame there. And it was also resistance on the intermediate time frame. Everything comes together. So when you have all of those, the triple comes together, the resistance in all three time frames. When they come together and they're nice and close in terms of price, something big is going to happen at that point. And it came with blue professional bars, amateur up bars testing here. We had an exhaustion buy, bearish divergence and flush pattern here. So it's showing that we were running out of energy. So that means the cyclical energy was all coming together for a confluence there. We had the volume patterns all coming together in terms of professional activity and momentum, and we just turn and then bang, beautiful trade all the way down from 51.60 all the way down to 50.46, so a 120 point move until we found a bottom down here. And again, a nice little confluence down here, pull back to end of trend, syncing up with that end of trend on the highest time frame here. We break above the resistance, bang, and all the blue professional bars have come in here to be active during that volatility of the FOMC days. And now we're broken into an uptrend on the 15-minute chart. But that is really important when everything comes together, all the cycles come together, the professional activity comes together, the amateur activity, and the volume momentum patterns all come together. That was just lining up, just ready for that dive. So lastly, 13,500 tip bar chart. Here we've got a little bit more detail of the overnight sessions. There was that turning point happening here with exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Here we turned into a downtrend. A super violent day on FOMC when we had this announcement. But down at the bottoms here we had blue professional bars come in here. Did not come with an exhaustion pattern. That would have been a beauty just down here at 50.40. The read was pretty good in terms of size. What have we got down here? 14,390. Have we got that right? Yeah, 14,390, which is close to the exhaustion buy pattern that we had here, about 16,000, but it didn't signal an exhaustion pattern. But it was a nice good test down here at 50.40, and we bounced from there, and there's the blue professional bars buying the breakout at that level there. We were breaking through resistance on the low and the intermediate time frame here at 5100 here, and broken into an uptrend. So it's almost like a U-turn. Blue professional bars at the high there, they pick it up down here, and then they get the move going, pushing it through these levels. That was the overnight activity and the employment numbers that came out Friday morning before the open. Bang. A test down here with amateur down bars, and we've come back up. Now we've got an interesting confluence coming back up at these highs at 51.61. We've got a triple. Pull back to end of trend on the low and the intermediate and the highest time frame here, all coming together right up there. Close on Friday. Got blue professional bars. We've got a flush pattern, but the flush pattern is based off this exhaustion buy. At the moment down here, the better momentum reads come back to zero. It's neutral at that point, and we've got blue professional bars. And because the background is in red, showing us an uptrend, is that the end of this move? I'm not convinced that we're just going to give up the ghost at this point, roll over and go the other way. 15-minute chart here, it's resistance on the intermediate time frame. We've got this support in the highest time frame behind us. So we've broken above these levels here. We've got to go put in pullback to end of trend on these on the low and the intermediate time frame here. So on the 15-minute chart, it's not over. We're breaking into an uptrend. Just because we've got this pattern happening here, it means that we're going to have trouble. Big things happen at triples, and this is a super important triple because it's got all the end of trends kind of come together. My guess is we're just going to bust through that first thing, and it's going to be a really strong week as we run the clock out in terms of this support to resistance move on the daily time frame. But let's wait and see. We could have a little bit of trouble at this point, sink back down until we get support in the highest time frame. More blue professional bars come in towards the breakout level. If we have weakness, we'll come back to where we saw the blue professional bars last at this breakout point, so at 5100. So we could come back a fair distance until we get that support level there and have another go at it through 5161. But let's wait and see. The energy is behind us. The trend move is going up for the time being. But wait and see Sunday into Monday whether we drop down to 5100 and have another go at it, or we just power straight through it first thing. Not sure yet. Have to wait and see. So let's look at the futures markets and what's going on in terms of the trends, starting with the Euro chart. So Euro was pretty interesting this week. We had a high being made earlier on, and we were in a downtrend most of this week, and then at those lows here we had all the blue professional bars, big pro bars come in here on this 1500 tip bar chart. What I'm looking for is the background color to tell me the direction of the trend, and then using the lower time frame as entry points here. We're in an uptrend now on the 1500 tip bar chart. We've reached a little bit of a local high, but there's no blue professional bars coming at those highs, no amateur bars at those highs with rambo patterns or anything like that. So we're just settling down a little bit and waiting for the next support to play out. We've got a support on the intermediate time frame here on the 1500 tip bar chart, which is support in the highest time frame here, a pullback in an uptrend level there. And if we do get a continuation of this risk-on move, we'll just take off first thing Sunday, Monday with the euro and head back up through 840 there. Same thing happening with the British pound. The background's in red. We've got a little bit of weakness at the moment. Blue professional bars coming at the end of Friday, and we temporarily had a little bit of weakness here on the lower time frame chart. So let's wait and see. We need this to break back above that trailing stop, which is nice and tight at the moment, just there at the end of the week, and see if that's a stair-step trade that we just hold that level and break up through 26 for a continuation of the uptrend on British pound. Aussie dollar, long Aussie at the moment, as well as long euro. And here, no blue professional bars on the highest time frame. We broke into an uptrend here. We're having a little bit of weakness at the moment. It's catching here, but we need these bars to turn red on the lowest time frame here. So I don't think it's over in terms of these Forex charts. And then the Japanese yen, which was probably super manipulated this week with everything that's going on. Let me show you a couple of charts here. So first of all, the highest time frame chart, that was the decline that we had into the end of last week, and it just got super oversold, and there was intervention by Japanese central bank, and we came back here, found some support and rallied from there. So we're in an uptrend in terms of better sine wave here on the highest time frame with all the bars in red. And in terms of the volume patterns down here, there we had exhaustion sell. It was all with blue professional bars and then amateur bars right at the lows. But then on the test, look at this. This is all the blue professional bars settling in down here at these lows. Exhaustion sell with the blue dots, a bullish divergence and a flush pattern, bang, and we take off to the upside. And we're still in an uptrend. The background's in red, the trailing stops behind us. So we're still in an uptrend in terms of Japanese yen. So for the time being, the US dollar is weak and everything else, all the other Forex currencies are rallying in the meantime. So 10-year notes down here made a nice low. Big pro bars come in here with the background in blue. All those blue professional bars holding at that point there. Exhaustion buy gets this move going. And then with the employment numbers on Friday, we had this spike here. So actually 10-year notes is in a downtrend at the moment. A little bit uncertain in terms of better pro-am. We're under the trailing stop, which is showing weakness, but the bars are still red. So let's wait and see. We haven't had an exhaustion buy pattern on either the low time frame or the high time frame here. So let's see if we're just going to hold at this point here and then have another look at 109 up there to get those exhaustion patterns. But at the moment, it's a little bit weak on the 10-year notes. So next, gold. Gold looks really interesting here, putting a double bottom at the moment at 2300. So first of all, at the beginning of the week, we had all these blue professional bars, big pro bars come in here, sell it down, bang. But then at 2300, they pick it up again, big pro bars come in here at the lows. We test into that area, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence comes in, and then blue professional bars at the end of the week getting this move going. You can see all of these patterns down here come together in terms of support. So we've got support in terms of better sine wave on the high and the low time frame. We've broken into an uptrend in terms of better pro-am here on the lowest time frame, confirmation there. With that red arrow, we just need the same thing to get above 2320 or so on gold, and that'll show us that we're back into an uptrend in terms of gold. So gold's looking nice. Silver, not as pretty a pattern, but we've got our exhaustion sell, blue professional bars getting this move going. You can see here breaking into an uptrend. We've got a signal here, a signal here. No signals yet on the higher time frame, but it might come in the next day or so with these supports all coming together. And next, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin down here, another nice signal come in. We've got signs of strength in terms of price and volume, and we've got an exhaustion sell pattern here, broken into an uptrend. Temporarily run out of steam with Rambo patterns at the highs, and so we're having a little bit of weakness from there, but that should settle down. I'm just waiting for the next spot where the blue professional bars step in to continue that rally. So crude had a nasty week. We sold off. We put in Rambo patterns right at these highs before the end of last week, and then this week, bang, just took off the downside. A whole bunch of blue professional bars, big pro bars coming in here on that retrace to sell it down. And we've had one blue professional bar down here at the lows, but that's not enough to, or two bars there, not enough to hold it down here. We've got an initial sign of strength here, but we're still coming through supports at that point there. So crude's coming down to the next level where it's going to hold, but it's not found it yet. Natural gas has been rallying. So we had a support in the highest time frame here, started to rally from Rambo patterns down here at the lows, and now we've got blue professional bars and exhaustion buy coming in here, but it's not signaled in terms of a change in trend in natural gas, but that was a nice rally from midweek. Copper had a nice run up to this 470 type level and then just ran out of steam. So up here we've got flush patterns going on, and we break into a little bit of a downtrend. Coming into these lows, seems like it's holding at the moment here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, blue professional bars come in, we break the trailing stop, we're in an uptrend in terms of the background in red. So that's good for an uptrend in copper. And then the ags. And the ags on the higher time frame charts, the daily charts, looking really interesting at the moment. Corn bottomed down here, nice sign of strength here, started this rally but into exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Temporarily we're in a downtrend at the moment, got to play itself out to the downside. Soybeans rallying this week off Rambo patterns down here at the lows with a nice sign of strength here on the highest time frame, bang into an uptrend. So soybeans had a nice trending move this week. And lastly, wheat. Wheat, all of these signs of strength, Holnius down here, all made with Rambo patterns at those lows. So Rambo to Rambo channel, we come back down to test. No blue professional bars, and not much of them down here on this highest time frame chart, but we're rallying nonetheless, and we've got a sign of strength happening here at the moment. So this might catch this week and continue up on wheat. So there we go, a little bit of a rip around the charts. Hope that was a shorter video this weekend. And let's see if we get a continuation of that strength in the E-mini and the Forex charts next week. So should be interesting trading.